Welcome to the UK Niner podcast, part of the Across the Pond Sports Network. Now, here are your hosts, Matt Walker and Neil Baldock.
Hey everybody, we're back. It's episode 5 of the UK Niner podcast. I'm Matt Walker, along with my best buddy, Neil Baldock. How's it going over there in Seattle, Neil?
All good, all good. Good morning, good afternoon. And Memorial Day over here. So a day off work for me. So happy days, happy days.
Bank holiday Monday in the UK. So we've got the day off as well. And as I'm a teacher, I've got all week off, but hey, I won't go there. And I'm just want to representing today, just going to move the mic for a second. Talk us through it, Neil.
There we go. The Mount Si Football Wildcats, that's my son's high school football team. That's kicking off big time now. They're into weight room schedules and camps are starting for the summer. So, it should be a good season. New head coach this year. So looking forward to it.
Is that you?
No, it's not me. It's not me.
I love
Someone
it.
knows what they're doing.
When I wear this around and about, I sometimes wear it at school. I get so many questions about it, so I just love being able to sort of tell them what it's all about. So yeah, it's a good. And I say 34 degrees centigrade here in the UK. Would you think for you American folks, we figured out it was about 95. It's just it's a May bank holiday. It usually rains in the UK on a bank holiday, but it's beautiful. So yeah, I don't know what it's like out there. Was it warm out there, Neil? Is May generally warm? Memorial Day weekend warm in Seattle?
Not too bad. I think we hit mid-70s this week, so like 20 degrees. Lower than you guys. I think it rained today for us. So
okay.
Anyway,
that's
I'm
not
not here to talk about weather.
It's been a while. It's been a couple of weeks. We've had things going on. So, but we're got a load of gear to talk to you about today. Just so much stuff in the last fortnight. So we've got our game day plan. You can see in the middle of the screen there, first quarter down to fourth quarter. We're going to go through some little bits of Niner Nuggets news to begin with, like we always do. Then we're going to have a look at the schedule release, the 2026 Niners schedule release, and talk about that a little bit, and then how it fits with the NFC West as well. Seeing some all sorts of predictions I'm not liking about where the Niners might end up, but we'll have our own opinion on that. Then we get halftime, another bit of a quiz. Neil's prepped something for me today in terms of trying to guess which Niners scores the most touchdowns out of a given bunch. Then on to the third quarter, back to the 80th anniversary. We'll take a look, our first dip into profiling one of our Niner legends. Then the fourth quarter comes around, we'll go back to present day, and we'll have a look at our receiver room, break down our first positional group of the season, and we'll take a real focus on the receiver group. So a lot to get through, Neil. Are you all set?
Let's do it.
Okay, here we go.
First quarter.
Right, what's been going off in Ninerland then, Neil, this last fortnight?
Well, looks like Ayuk is still stuck. He's not going anywhere by the looks of it. I've seen read a lot of stuff about him, like where's he going to go? I saw more trade news this morning coming up. Like they really want him to get over to the Commanders, but I don't know, dude. I don't know what's going on. I think the biggest thing though, the biggest takeaway is that it's clear that they've moved on. Like fully with the wide receiver room is a full reset. So happy days in that respect. But I think Ayuk, it's about time we just cut bait with him and see what happens.
Well, we've said, haven't we? The one thing for sure is the Niners aren't going to do him any favors. You've written in your notes, that on the one hand, teams are waiting for us to release him, but on the other hand, the Niners want to get something for him. I don't just want to release him away. So, like you say, that is very much a stalemate situation with the Ayuk situation. So I think we kind of just watch this space, don't we, on that one and see how things. But I think it's going to be a slow burner.
Yeah, I'm just worried that it becomes a distraction, right? Like, at what point does it start to become detrimental to the team instead of a benefit? So, hopefully they're watching that. They should be. But we'll see what happens. But I'm sure we'll hear a lot about it over the next few weeks. And we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit of fun news that's come out this week. I don't want to talk about this before we get into meat and bones and stuff. Two things involving the man. First of all, a really great accolade. I'm sure you remember this. Well, yeah, there you go. There's the 85 on Neil's jersey. But that photo right there was voted as the Pro Football Hall of Fame photo of the year. That's Kittle diving on the 9th of November 2025 against the Rams at Levi's. And I watched this back last night. I watched the highlights of this. And at the time, the Niners were 42-20 down. There was 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, 3rd and 7 on the LA 13-yard line. And the way he catches it in acres of space, but his body weight is all going out of bounds. And the way he ballet dances and tiptoes himself to change direction. I mean, this guy is 6'4", 250 pounds, and he managed to stop on a sixpence or on a dime for all you American guys out there. Change that body weight and then elevate us horizontally for the pylon. What a great shot that is!
Amazing. And look at it. Look at the eyes, dude. Locked in or what, man? Amazing photo. Yeah, congratulations to the winner of that. That's such a cool photo.
So that's always nice to see George getting some of those accolades on there. And one more, Spidergate. I love Spidergate. What a hero. What a hero George Kittle is. I mean, he saved Claire from that arachnid that entered their rest area, as you think he called it, and he didn't even call it the bedroom. But the way he articulated that was just phenomenal. And the funniest thing for me is the fact it's made NFL.com this week.
Overcame his injury as well to do it as well, don't forget. So, I mean, just legend status already.
Well, that is the headline on NFL.com. I mean, Niners tight end George Kittle shrugs off injury to save wife from arachnid. Okay. And then, semicolon, PETA responds. And obviously, PETA is one of the world's largest animal rights campaign group. And apparently, they've sent him a more humane way of getting rid of any future arachnids that he may find to save Claire from. But I just love that.
Yeah, and it's a kind of feeling for him. It's spider season over here in Seattle. I was doing yard work the last couple of days, and it's been a fight. Not gonna lie, it's been a battle. So I feel George is going to be. It's tough. It's tough out there.
It's one thing I do not envy at all. So you can keep your spiders out there. And the way that George articulated it, it was almost like a piece of poetry. And then NFL.com finish off with the article. Indeed, chivalry is not dead, but that spider is. It's just. But anyway, so I just wanted to mention that just because it tickled me and George being George.
Yeah. Also, have you seen the videos of him and Kyle in? Is it Bottleneck Napa? They're having a good time.
Yeah, they were.
That's a festival and a half. I mean, those two guys.
Well, they must get mobbed. Do you think they get mobbed out there? I'd be all over them.
I don't know. I think people are pretty chill. I mean, I've seen a few NFL players around here, man. I tell you, it's like they seem pretty. Saw Marshawn Lynch once. That was wild.
Well, he was out in Europe this year. He did the coin flip for the opening game of the 2026 AFLE. That's a new American football league here in Europe. It's called the American Football League Europe. So he was out in Germany doing the coin toss at the inaugural game for that on Saturday. So, they're getting the big names out. Old beast mode traveling the globe.
I remember that. I came out of work one day and there he was, pulled up in his Lamborghini. And he pops out straight in front of me. And then his bodyguard is like 30 yards behind him, just making sure. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think people are pretty cool. I think they recognize they're out there having a good time. So,
before we get into the schedule release side of things, a couple more notes that you put on here. Tell us about Larry Worth III.
Sounds like he's just a special team guy, but I mean, they obviously see some value in him. 3-year deal, released another linebacker, Milo Effler, to make some roster room. Looks like he's an undrafted player, but special teams and maybe some linebacker competition, but just a very small roster move, but nothing too exciting. But something worth noting that they're still looking for players out there.
Still trying to build that roster, absolutely. And I love this one, this little nugget that you've picked up. You can tell us a bit more about this, but the Candlestick Legacy streets have been approved, but there's one weird twist. So, some streets in San Francisco being renamed.
Yeah, it looks like it. Around Candlestick Point, they've approved the names. So they got some Bill Walsh Street and Ronnie Lott Lane. But what I really liked was they had a separate names for Montana and Dwight Clark. And then Montana got into him and said, yo, can we just change this to Montana Clark Drive or Lane, whichever it is. He wanted them connected forever. So that's going to be cool as well. Just a little bit of history going on around Candlestick Point. And that's where it all started, right?
Yeah, it is. And, it's nice to see them actually finally redeveloping that land. I was lucky enough to go out there once in 2003, just, the latter end of the Candlestick Legacy. But it's nice to see that even though they are developing it, they're keeping that heritage there with the names. I tell you what, though, I wouldn't particularly want to drive on Ronnie Lott Lane. I bet there's going to be some collisions on there.
Keep your Ubers out of there. Let's not do it.
Or your Waymos.
Or especially your Waymos. That's a tale for another time.
Other taxi companies are available.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think realistically, we've obviously got on there the fact that the 26th NFL schedule was released a couple of weeks back now. And before we, go delve right into that one, that was the 14th of May. There's 2 international games that we just want to really highlight for the Niners. It's a shame from my perspective that the Niners aren't coming back over to the UK, not been out here since 2013. Every year, those Niners fans out here are just itching for them to come back. But alas, 2 international games that see the Niners, travel to the other side of the world, Neil.
Yeah, 49ers Rams. I think it's the marquee headline of the schedule. They're obviously going big with this one. Huge time zone difference for us. I didn't even realize it was on Netflix. I don't know if that's going to be the standard across the world, but played at the MCG, so the Melbourne Cricket Ground. 100,000 people they're expecting. That's a huge one. I know we'll get more into the predictions later, but I mean, that's a tone setter for the season, not just for the 2 teams. That's a big one. Obviously, the Niners are a huge pull around the world, as you just mentioned. So, yeah, really good. I mean, a bit nervous about it, but again, I mean, I just can't wait for it to get started. September 10th, I think. Yeah, September 10th.
I think that's right. Yeah, I mean, one way or another, like you say, it's going to have a massive impact on if you lose that game, you've got to come back, you've got to regroup, you've got to rest up, you've got to obviously get over the jet lag and then play, when we'll have a look, play a couple of teams that maybe we should be beating ordinarily, but if you're coming off the back of a loss all that way, how's that going to affect you mentally? If you win it, it could set the tone again. You could go on for a real good first half of the season. But anyway, we'll talk about that. And then a little bit later in the season, week 11, we travel down to Mexico. And obviously Mexico City love the Niners.
Yep, they do. This is a Niners home game down there. Sunday night football. Huge game. 2 international games for the Niners. So that's obviously where they see us internationally. Again, just impact to us, bit of altitude going on down there. So we'll see. Not so worried about this one. I think this is a fun game. I think, as you said, the Niners are hugely supported in Mexico. Go down to Southern California. There's huge love for the Niners down there. So this will be like a home game for them. So let's hopefully we get the dub there.
Well, as well, George Kittle loves, obviously, Mexico and loves the culture and obviously all the wrestling and one thing or another like that as well. And it will be an interesting one because it'll be the Juan Jennings revenge game, won't it, as well now? As he recently signed with the Vikings. So it will be an interesting one all the way around. But hey, I think, as the offseason kind of ramps up, OTAs are just around the corner and we'll keep dipping into bits and bobs. But I think for now, we've pretty much covered all that you need to know about regarding the Niner Nuggets. So I think it's time to move on, mate.
Let's do it.
Second quarter.
Okay, so this was the big news. Obviously, May the 14th, we went with you last week, but it's given us a chance to break this down and have a little think about this as well. Well, here's the schedule, the 49ers schedule. I've got to give Wayne Humphreys a bit of a shout out here. Wayne Humphreys is a member of the UK Faithful fan club here in Great Britain. He's created this sort of desktop screensaver thing. So great shout out for him. A little bit difficult to see on this screen. So I'm just going to flip over to another kind of schedule image that we've got that I've got from, where are we? I've got from the 49ers themselves. So here we go, Neil. So we talked about, there's the 3 preseason games at the top there. Broncos, Raiders, Chargers. We're interested to see. We see the Chargers in the preseason, and then we see them a little bit later on in the as well. In fact, that's the wrong schedule, look, because if you're the eagle-eyed amongst you, that's the 2025 schedule, Neil. So well done. I'll remove that very quickly. I do know that we have got the Chargers though in this season. So what I'm going to do, I will. You begin talking about that first little bit, and I'm just going to grab this year's schedule. So yeah,
no worries. So first game of the season, we just spoke about it.
Yeah, we talked about the Rams. Yeah.
So Rams, Thursday night football in Australia. And I think this is, honestly, like you said, the tone setter. I don't know. Do you have it? I have him down for a loss on this one, Matt. I don't know if you want to go through the win-loss for the whole season or how you want to do it. But
Yeah, let's have a little look at that then. Yeah, so we'll go game by game and then kind of say what we think as well. So yeah, week one. I mean, I've got it down as a win, but I've got it down as a win. I think more than anything because I hate to think of us starting the season off with a loss. And like you say,
fair.
sometimes we're the ultimate optimist, looking to try and um, you know, well, yeah, give the best that we can for the Niners. But I understand why you put it down for a loss.
Honestly, a coin flip. Honestly, I think the Rams have gone all in the season, and I think this is going to be, like I said, this is going to be a tough game. Carl Juszczyk is up for it. It sounds like Shanahan feels very disappointed in this thing, so it's a coin flip. I went as a lot of these games. You always do. I think I sent you the over under. I think we're like 10.5 games for the season, so I wouldn't be surprised if we win. But then again, I think Rams. I think first game of the season, we'll see who's ready first. I mean, that's the way it's going to go.
No, absolutely, 100%. And then, like you say, we come back then in games 2 and 3. The NFL have kind of gone in games 2 and 3. Well, do you know what? We've sent you halfway across the world. We'll kind of give you what as close as we can to what we might call a cupcake game. We've got the Dolphins at home and then followed by the Cardinals at home. In fact, three home games on the bounce. But realistically, in a normal circumstance, looking at the rosters of those, the Dolphins and the Cardinals at the moment, you'd expect the Niners at home to take both those.
Absolutely. I got 2 wins for those 2 games as well. And yep, same as you. And then the home game, the third home game is the Broncos.
That's the one, and that for me is a banana skin. Well, it's not even a banana skin because if Bo Nix is back there, Broncos were a playoff caliber team last year. Sean Payton got them firing on all cylinders. Our man Hufanga there back at safety doing the business. As they're a dangerous proposition. The only bonus really for me is that we're at home for the third game in a row.
Yep, I've got this down as a win, so I think you have an L for this one. So I think after the first 4 games, though, we're pretty close. We're both 3-1, so that'd be a great start to the season either way.
Yeah, that's where we've gone. We've gone 3-1 on that first little running. My thinking is, I suppose, that after that Australia trip, you kind of might just run out of steam against the Broncos in week 4. I think you the other way around. You've kind of gone, we've lost that first one, then we get 3 home wins. I don't know. I kind of think if you lose that first one, I think you might end up struggling.
Maybe.
But anyway, we then move on to the old foe. We would move on to the boys coming up to your neck of the woods at Lumen against the Seahawks, October the 11th. And unfortunately, I think we both got that down as a loss just because I don't think the drop-off from the Seahawks from last year to this year is that great at all. Obviously, they've lost Kenneth Walker, the running back, but Javarian Price has come in. He looks to be doing well with the Hawks early on. And I don't feel like at the moment, from an offensive line point of view, I don't feel like we've bolstered our front enough to be able to take care of that defense, that Seattle defensive front.
I agree. Loss for me as well. The only thing that gives me a bit of hope is if our pass rush gets after Darnold. I think we can affect him. We know what he's like. The teams know him well. But I mean, yeah, Seahawks. No. Then again, everyone's going to go for them as well, man. Super Bowl champs. So we'll see. But I think we both have that down as a loss. So
we do.
Into Monday Night Football, we are both expecting this to be 3-2, and then we have the Commanders at home.
Absolutely, yeah. So 3-2, like you say, after week 5, coming into the Commanders at home. The Commanders are a tricky one, aren't they? Because Jaden Daniels looked like a superstar a year ago, and last year kind of fell off and just weren't quite the same. Obviously, he had some injuries that he was dealing with as well. But a Monday night game at Levi's, I'm going with the Niners there. Yeah, I think we've both gone with that, but I think we're just too strong at that stage of the season. Again, I think it's always hard predicting these like this because we're thinking about individual games. You've got to look at the build-up before then. And for me, if I'm coming off a loss to the Broncos and a loss to the Seahawks, which I'm predicting, it's going to be hard to pick yourself back up again. But apart from the fact that you're on the national stage on Monday night, like you mentioned.
Yeah, but I think we get the win. I mean, maybe Ayuku's playing in that game. Who knows? So I think we get the win there. And then short week, going off to the Falcons, early kickoff against their run game. That's going to be a tough one, dude. I have that down as an L for that one.
You do, yeah. Bijan Robinson out there in Atlanta. Obviously, an absolute demon. Is your loss based on the fact that you don't think we can stop that Bijan Robinson run attack, or is it the fact that it is a short week? What are you thinking?
I think the Niners. I mean, I think the short weeks to the East Coast for any NFC West team is tough. But then following a Monday night game as well, we'll see. But I mean, I don't know. I think it's just a tough, like you said, like you kind of had that the Broncos game as a trap game if you want. I feel the same for the Falcons here.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And then we're hitting the bye, and I think I'm down at 3 losses by the bye, and I think you're down at 2.
Yeah. I'm 5-2. You're 4-3. But I mean, I suppose at that stage, coming off that Australia trip in week 1, if you can be above 500 by week 8, I think you're kind of in there. And then I kind of just went crazy. And when I predicted the next sort of 6 weeks, I kind of didn't look at the situations. I almost just looked at the teams. I was like, Raiders, yeah, we're not losing to the Raiders at home. That's a win. Cowboys, we're not losing to the Cowboys away. That's a win. Vikings, home Mexico. We talked about that earlier. That'll be a fun game. Joan Jennings' French game. We're going to beat the Vikings in Mexico. Seahawks at home. I can't see us losing twice to the Seahawks in one season. I don't want to see it, so we're going to win that one. Giants away. Giants, okay. Jackson Dart. John Harbaugh's over there. Maybe, but it's still the Giants. We're going to win that one. And then the Rams at home. And for the same reason, I kind of thought to myself, well, yeah, I gave us a win against the Rams in Australia, but I don't want to be losing against the Rams twice, 2 years in a row at Levi's. So I kind of just did a win, and then went, oh, hang on a minute. I've not put a loss for a while. So maybe your predictions are a little bit more from the head rather than the heart.
Maybe. We'll see. But I've got Raiders, Cowboys, Vikings, all as wins. The Seahawks, I did have as a win until I realized we're going to be on a short week and they have their bye before that game. They have 2 weeks to get ready for us. We'll be coming off high altitude, international game. So all things being even, I think I'd have given us the win. But with the schedule and how it fell with rest, I think we're going to be struggling against that one. Then a win against the Giants, and then again the Rams. I was like, I guess this is the bit more the pessimistic side. I've got losing to both the Rams and the Seahawks this year. It's just whether we've seen, like you said, trying to predict it this far out. On last year's roster, I think we lose both these games.
Yeah, I agree.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the D-line brings. I think that's going to be the most important thing. So we're heading into the final 4 games, and I have us down as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losses, and you've only got us down as 2 losses. So we're very optimistic. We're number 1 seed. Let's go.
We've not lost a game since October 11th, according to me, and we're now just in the middle of December.
Oh, what a beautiful time.
But then the middle of December rolls around again, and it's the 4th primetime game for the Niners, and that's December 17th, Thursday night football against the Chargers, and that's down at SoFi. So at least we go to SoFi once this season, but we both got that down to loss. I just think Jim Harbaugh, Justin Herbert, I think he's going to have a bit of a breakout season as well. Lad McConkey, obviously there at receiver for them. Does Keenan Allen come back? I think he does come back to the Chargers. I don't think he goes anywhere else. So, and that defense was no joke either last year for the Chargers. So I've got us down as an L for that one.
Yeah, same here. That's a tough one. So I've got 2 losses in a row, and to make it worse, then we go away to the Arrowhead for the Chiefs, and I've got 3 losses in a row for us. So it's going to be a tough round out towards the end of the season, but that's tough. That's a tough game.
Until somebody shows and proves otherwise, whether it's Andy Reid that is Kyle Shanahan's bad mojo, or whether it's Patrick Mahomes for the defense or whatever, or whether it's that Spagnola's defense that we just can't break, whatever it is, that just seems to be our voodoo team, doesn't it? Yeah. For whatever reason, we cannot beat them regular season or postseason. And until something changes, I think they've got our number.
I agree. So I got it down for a loss. And then, so I've got us down at 7 losses by now. So we're struggling, probably looking in. But then we have the Eagles at home and Cardinals away. And I got 2 wins to round out the season.
Yeah, me too. I've got the 2 wins there. Again, the Eagles at home. The Eagles, they're always going to be the Eagles. They're not quite the team they were. I mean, that performance in the playoffs where Jalen Hurts just didn't seem to have any idea. Receivers were dropping passes left, right, and center. And obviously, we pull out the trick play, the Jennings to McCaffrey touchdown in Philadelphia. But, I can't believe I've put a win, but I can't believe at that time of year. I mean, if you think about the NFC East, The Commanders aren't going to be challenging, I don't think, this time around. I don't think the Giants will be there or thereabouts. They'll be better than they were under Harbaugh, but I don't think we're there or thereabouts. So you kind of Cowboys, what are the Cowboys going to be? They go as well as Dak goes, really. And I mean, Dak played well last year. So are the Eagles going to be challenging for the NFC East? And if they are, then that W I put down might be optimistic, particularly like you said, coming off the back of the Chargers away, the Chiefs away. So, and again, I mean, by that point, I've already got us down as 4 losses, and I've got us down winning the Eagles and then beating the Cardinals, which we should beat the Cardinals even in week 18. But I don't know. It's like you say, it's not the individual game necessarily, is it? It's what's come before, and it's where your mindset is as a team based on your record going into that week.
Agreed. And it's like, I've got us down to 3 losses in a row before that game. So I'm thinking, we have to win. It's Sunday Night Football again. It's going to be a primetime game for us. So we got to get that one. Yeah, and I mean, I've got us losing, let's have a look, like 4 of the previous 5. So it's kind of like to us, I think we have a pretty steady start.
Yeah.
And then it gets real tough. But then again, you got to look at, it's not just how many wins you stack up, it's who you win, right? It's like quality wins and quality losses. I mean, sometimes it doesn't tell the whole story. So I have the season rounding out at 10-7, which is just under the 10.5 that's predicted for them. So, and I did that before that came out. So I'm pretty, I don't know, we'll see how it goes. But I mean, yours is very optimistic, I think, but I love it. Let's go.
I think it is absolutely optimistic, and almost maybe between me and you, maybe you've put the floor. Have you put the floor, or do you think that's kind of? I've definitely put the ceiling. I can't see us winning any more than 13 games. I think that is an absolute. If I'm perfectly honest with you, I can't really realistically see us winning any more than 12 games. So maybe if we say 12-5, 13-4 is the ceiling, do you think the floor is a 10-7, or could we drop lower than that?
Maybe, but it's these coin flip games. I think I've been really looking at that Seahawks away game. I find this Seahawks at home for us is such a challenge. I'm wondering if we can just go in and nick one there. That might be, but that's just so many close games as there should be. It's NFC West is going to be probably the best division in football again.
Yeah.
Looking at the odds, I mean, I think they're all like pretty top, 5 or 6 for favorites to like make the Super Bowl. So it's a tough division. We're playing a tough division this year. So yeah, I think 10 is. I think if we get to double figures, we've done well.
Yeah, I agree. And
I really do.
And again, that's reliant on injuries again, isn't it? I mean, we got to 12 wins last year with half the squad decimated. So fingers crossed. It would be ironic if we stayed healthy and only won 9 games. But hey. Let's very quickly, because we're obviously focusing on the Niners, but obviously those other 3 teams in the NFC West are going to dictate how far we go this season. So let's very quickly just run through. Let's go with the defending champs first. So week 1, it's a Super Bowl rematch, Patriots.
There we go. I mean, it is what it is. It's straight away off the bat, right? It's going to be an interesting start. Let's see where these players are. But like I said, I don't see any drop off for these guys. So
again, I'm more than happy to discuss it, but I'm just thinking about time. So let's just kind of go win-loss on this, okay? So let's just go win-loss. So, and if you like, let me just jot this down as we go, because we've not done this off air yet. So if I just jot down as we go, the win-loss kind of thing. So it's Patriots at Lumen.
Win.
Yeah, I agree. Cardinals away.
Win.
Yeah, absolutely. Washington away.
Win.
Yeah. Chargers at Lumen. That could be their first real test. You're going for a win with that one. Yeah? Okay. I'll go with that. And then it's us. We discussed this game when we talked about it earlier. We've got us both down for a loss. So that's another win. Straight away there. The Seahawks are 5-0.
Yep.
Yeah. Then you've got the Broncos.
I think that's a pretty good schedule to start them out. Yeah, Broncos. Let's look. Broncos night football short week. Loss.
Okay. Yeah. Then the Chiefs at home. That could be, depending on Mahomes again, but that's a big game right there.
Yeah. I think after a Thursday night, they'll have extra prep for that, son. So it's give them a win there.
Yeah, absolutely. I've gone win again. Then the Bears away. Bears could be good. If Caleb Williams steps up, Bears could be promising this year.
You know what? Let's put that down for a loss.
Yeah.
Can't be having them winning that many games.
Cards have got to be a win wherever they're playing. They could play them on the moon and beat the Cards. Raiders away. You've got to say a win, haven't you? You've got to say a win. The Mendoza era may well have started then by week 10. Then they hit their bye week, and then obviously they take on us again. Like you say, the schedulers, I think that's really mean. But I'm going to go loss for that because I put win on my prediction, but you're going to
Yeah.
go win because you put it the other way around.
Yeah.
Cowboys away.
God, that is a tough one.
We've said we're going to beat them away.
Yeah.
I can't see them not.
Yeah, they're going to win now, aren't they?
Yeah. Giants away. I've got to go win again.
Yeah.
Eagles at home. Oh, sorry.
No, all the way
my
around.
bad. Yeah, Cowboys and Giants were both at home, so therefore
Yeah.
definitely winning those ones.
Yeah.
Then the Eagles away.
Let's put an L down.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go. All right. Okay. That's fair play. Then we'll go LA Rams at home. That's going to be a big one.
That is it. That's the biggest game in the NFC West towards it. That's huge. Actually,
look,
that's not true. Yeah. What is going on there?
Look, what's that?
I never realized that the last 3 games. That's crazy.
Yeah, look at that. You got LA week 16, the Rams, week 17, the Panthers, week 18, the Rams. Wow. So they were really banking. The NFL are really banking on the NFC West coming down to these 2 teams in the last 3 weeks of the season.
Yeah,
but I'm going to split it. I'm going to go LA win lose away. They beat Carolina, and then I'm going to go that LA win at home on the week 18.
Yeah.
Because by that time as well, Seattle may well be resting players, particularly with the records we've got. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You've gone 13 and 4, 13 and 5 actually. So you've got them losing. Yeah, we've got them losing week 6 against the Broncos.
Yeah,
we've got them losing week 8.
Yeah, why not?
We couldn't against the Bears
at
home.
They're not
going to lose that. They're not going to lose. Not at Lumen. Not at Lumen.
We've done 4 losses on this schedule.
Yeah, I think so. 14 and 4. I think you're right. 14 and 3. Oh, 4 losses.
13 and 4.
13 and 4. My bad.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So you've got the Seahawks 13 and 4. Let's very quickly do the Rams. Very quickly. Us. We'll go consensus. We'll go win then. We'll go win.
Win.
Yeah. Then the Giants. Giants
win.
At home. That's a win. Broncos away. I'm going to go loss for that.
Okay.
Eagles away. Win.
Yep.
Buffalo at home. Could be interesting.
It's a great game. I think they'll win it though.
Mm-hmm. Cardinals anywhere winning that.
Yep.
Raiders
win.
Raiders away win. Chargers. So obviously it's the Battle of SoFi on the 1st of November.
Who will be the home team, even though they're the home team. But I don't know who's more supported down there. So let's put them down for a win, though. Yeah, it's true.
Washington away, you got to say win. Cardinals again, another win. Bye week then. Then the Packers away. Packers at home. Wow, how's Jordan Love going to be this year?
Yeah, that's a great question.
I'm going to go win again. Are you going to give them going to give the Packers a win?
I was going to choose like a loss in one of the next 2 games.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's go. I reckon they're more likely to beat Green Bay at home than they are the Chiefs. But I think they're still likely to beat the Chiefs at home because it's at home. Then it's us again at Levi's. What have we've got?
We split that.
Yeah, we split win-loss, so we'll put a win again. Then the Seahawks. God, blimey. Then the Seahawks to begin with, and we've said
we split those, right?
Yeah. We said that the Seahawks win this one, and the Rams win the last one. They've got Tampa Bay in between away. Tampa Bay, it's a tough East Coast trip. I'm going to go an L on that last one. I'm going to go an L there. So I've got them down 1, 2. I've got them down 4 losses again.
Yeah.
So I've got the Rams at 13 and 4. So there you go. I mean, with all due respect, I'm not going to go through the Cardinals just partly because of time more than anything. But that means we've got the Rams 13 and 4, the Seahawks 13 and 4, and possibly, if we're going to be with our heads rather than our hearts, us down at 10 and 7.
Yeah, so these games between the Rams, I mean, obviously, we don't need to tell how important they are, but this year in particular, seeding for playoffs is going to be crazy. What a season!
It's going to be tough to make the postseason 10 and 7. I think. I mean, having said that, like you say, we're thinking about other NFC teams that might challenge. There isn't anybody else really in the NFC that I'm that fearful of. Outside of the Rams and the Seahawks, to be perfectly honest.
Agreed. I think they're the class of the conference, not just the division. So
yeah,
it'll be a tough season for us. But you know what? nip into Australia, steal a win, and then things look completely different straight away.
Yeah, they do. They really do.
They
I
really
tell you
do.
what, as well, it's all well and good us and other analysts talking about this. We don't even know who's on the rosters yet.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair. But
So
you know what, though? I think we have a pretty good idea, though. Let's be
yeah,
honest.
we do.
Let's be honest.
We
But
do.
okay, let's do
Man,
a
that was good. That was
halftime.
good. Yeah, let's go. Right, to get my thinking brain on. I'll be back in a minute.
It's halftime.
Okay, here we go then. Halftime. So explain this one to us, Neil.
Yeah, all I've done is picked a couple of players I'm sure you're going to be very aware of. And I just want to know who you think scored the most touchdowns. Simple.
Okay.
It's as
All right.
simple as that. So we're going to start off matchup number one. It's going to be Dwight Clark versus John Taylor.
Oh.
It's a tricky one.
Oh, my word.
I ain't going to lie. I got this wrong.
Are you wanting me to try and guess how many as well?
Nah.
So
just
go
say
for higher
who
or
got
lower?
the most, and I'll let you know. Yeah. Who got the most?
Well, I reckon, based on the fact that actually in his prime, Clark was more of a kind of go-to guy than Taylor. Even though Taylor's obviously won touchdown winning catch in Super Bowl 23 and there's highlights galore, he was always behind Rice, always behind Jerry. Mike Wilson was there at the same time amongst others. Then the tight ends with Brent Jones and John Taylor and sorry, not John Taylor, John Franks. But I think Clark was almost more of a focal point for the offense. So it may well be right. I'll go Dwight Clark.
Yeah, so did I. It's John Taylor.
Ah, what's the difference?
But by one. It's
honestly, man.
Yeah. Coming out tough. Yeah, the biggest difference here is his playoff touchdowns for John Taylor. Okay. He had 6 to Clark's 3. But regular season, Clark had 48 to Taylor's 46. So 52 against 51. So very close. 52. Yeah.
That's a great start.
That's
52
it's
Taylor. Oh, yeah. I like that a lot. Right, bro. Okay, so I'm 0 for 1.
Okay. Matchup 2. Vernon Davis versus Christian McCaffrey.
Are we talking 49ers touchdowns
for
CMC? Or are we talking with Carolina as well?
Touchdowns. Just 49ers
touchdowns.
Okay.
All right, okay. So Vernon against CMC. Vernon tight end, CMC halfback. Obviously, most touches in the NFL last year. Been with us. He's been with us 3 years now or 4 years?
4? I'm not
4.
sure.
So he's going into is he going into year 5 with us?
Yeah, maybe.
We sign him. Anyway, right, okay. I'm just because I'm thinking about how long Vernon was with us, but obviously less targets as a tight end. You see, the obvious thing would be to go with CMC. But I kind of went that way with Dwight Clark and was done by 1.
Done by 1.
I imagine. Is it going to be close again?
These are all pretty close. They're all within 10.
Oh, okay. Goodness. Right. I'm going to go Vernon.
You're right. Vernon Davis by 4, 62 to 58. But what's crazy is Christian McCaffrey already has 10 postseason touchdowns.
10 postseason touchdowns.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's wild. Goodness. Okay, matchup 3. Brent Jones versus Tom Rathman.
Love these guys. Love these guys.
I know, right? I had fun doing this, Matt. I ain't gonna lie. It was like you get to look at stuff. And you have to dig deep to find people that are pretty close, you know? And so
Brent Jones, Tom Rathman. Again, Brent Jones in the era of Rice and Taylor. That's super. I mean, he was prevalent really in Super Bowl 24. I think he scored at least 1 in Super Bowl 24. But I think Rathman went over in Super Bowl 24 as well, from what I remember. Rathman a fullback, and it was kind of the era when not a lot of teams use fullbacks to carry the ball, but you remember those shoulder pads he had as well, the big neck roll that literally.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to go Rathman.
You're right, by 1. Rathman.
Right, let me have a guess then. Let me have a guess then. So I'm going to go, let's go Rathman 38.
Oh, 39.
Oh, man.
Brent Jones at 38, though.
Oh,
great guess.
Hey, wowzers. Okay, cool. So
Yep.
I'm 2-1. 2 to go.
Okay. Two legends, two running
Mhm.
backs. Frank Gore
Okay.
versus Roger Craig. Oh,
Right. Well, I know that Gore has got more yards than Craig because I'm pretty sure Frank Gore is the 49ers all-time leading rusher. I don't want to bet against Roger Craig just because I love him. It was one of my 3 idols growing up: Craig, Montana, Rice.
that was them.
Think about postseason scores. I mean, he was scoring touchdowns in 1984 Super Bowl. It was a pivotal focal point of that 1984 season, Super Bowl 19 with the Dolphins. Frank Gore.
You're right, by 6. It's his regular season. He had 76 regular season touchdowns to Craig's only 66. So, yeah, Frank Gore. That was a
Okay.
tough one. I thought that was a tough one because the same thing was like, how do you bet against it? But then they're both legends. So
They
that's why
are.
I picked
They
him.
are.
That's why I picked him.
Absolutely so. So 3-1. I'm going to finish above 500. I'm pleased about that.
Yep. And then you know one of these already. So George Kittle versus Dwight Clark.
Oh, back with Clark.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I know that Clark's had 51 total.
That's right.
So I just need to know whether or not Kittle has gone
Kittle
for
have
more
or
than
less
51. He's going into year 9 now, I think, isn't he? Is he year 9 or year 10, Kittle?
Yeah, he's been around a while, but I mean,
So if he's going into year 10, that's kind of asking him to score 10 a season. I don't think he's averaged 10 a season.
no, not that many. Like 6 or 7 a season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Dwight.
It's Kittle by 3.
54, has he?
Yeah, he's overtaken him. Yeah.
Right.
Very, very quiet. Yeah, I mean, here he's snuck past him. But yeah.
I'm just interested when was Kittle drafted? Kittle was drafted in 2017. So yeah, actually he's going into year 9 then this year. So actually 54 TDs for a tight end in 9 years. Not bad going, is it?
Yeah. And then a little bonus question for you.
All right.
That's your versus stuff. I think you did pretty well.
3 and 2. I'm happy with that.
Especially nailing the one away from the Tom Rathman touchdowns is wild, dude. Yeah. Where do you think Purdy sits on the touchdowns for NFL quarterbacks?
Number on the list.
Yeah.
Is this active and retired?
Total touchdowns scored for the Niners by Niners quarterbacks.
Oh,
so
by
Montana's obviously Montana's 1. Obviously.
All right. So we're just talking Niners quarterbacks, not NFL quarterbacks.
Yeah,
okay.
Just Niners quarterbacks. So Montana, Young, I'll give you those 2. Pretty obvious.
Okay. Are they the top 2? Yeah.
They're the top 2.
Okay.
But where does Purdy fit on the list right now?
So if I'm thinking about people like Garcia, Kaepernick, Alex Smith, I've got to go back to like Y.A. Tittle and Brody. There's not really many others that were that prolific. Trey Lance didn't do a lot.
Well, you've named everyone in the top 5.
Okay. So I reckon Purdy is 6.
He is. I kind of give it.
Is he
away a little
6?
bit. He is 6.
Well, no, because I named Purdy as well. All right,
Yeah.
so he is 6.
Yeah.
So therefore, your top 5. The top 5 have got to be then Montana. Is Montana higher than Young?
Yeah, Montana,
Okay.
305, Young, 286.
Oh, wow. So quite a difference. Okay, so Montana, Young. I think 3rd is going to be Garcia?
No, Brody, 241.
Oh, John Brody. Okay.
Huge amount of touchdowns. Then there's a big drop-off to the next 2.
So 4, is it 4 Alex Smith?
No, Garcia, 139. And then
why did they go Garcia 3?
Tittle with 134. So Purdy's at 106. So
wow.
Purdy could jump up to number 4 on the list this season if he has a banging season, dude.
Mr. Irrelevant.
Dude, amazing player. I just was interested when I was doing this. Like,
yeah, that's good.
Where's Purdy on this?
But again, like we said before, is Purdy that good from Mr. Irrelevant? Did all those NFL teams miss a trick, or is it just Kyle Shanahan's system?
No, man, he's good. His processing is so good, dude. I think it is. I really do.
you think he'd flourish elsewhere?
I don't think you get a chance elsewhere.
No, that's true. No.
I mean, it's just opportunity, right? Let's be honest.
He might at the Jets.
Well, yeah. I just watched a re-rank. I think he got drafted number 3 on a re-ranked draft of that draft.
Yeah.
Now. That's crazy.
From
okay, there you go. Congrats, Matt. That was a good,
a
tough one. I'm glad you
love it, mate. Really good. Right, let's move on. Time's ticking.
Third quarter.
So we're going to start our series back looking at the 80th anniversary of the 49ers this year in 2026. And we're going to do a little series about Niner legends. And what better place to start? We've mentioned him already in this pod. The one, the only, Mr. Joe Montana. For me, Joe Montana is the 49ers. Growing up, he was the first quarterback that was playing when I first watched. He was my idol. He was the reason I got into them with the jersey that I got. And I just think even now, even when he went to the Chiefs, you know how devastated he was about that. But he is just Mr. 49ers. And like you said earlier on about those road names, the fact that he's, so humble to go, hang on a minute, it's not Montana, it's Montana Clark. I'll make sure you recognize it. But what can you say about Joe?
I mean, I don't have to say it. I mean, Brady himself said he's in a league of his own. Rice was saying that he's like Joe Cool in an era where quarterbacks weren't protected. And then Bill Walsh was the greatest quarterback today and probably the greatest of all time. Obviously, it was a bit before Brady played, but you look at all the legends. I mean, what a guy. I really enjoyed looking back into his history. There's a bit we'll get to it a bit with his college game. But born in New Eagle, Pennsylvania, and good enough to go and play basketball at college as well, apparently. So, I mean, multi-sport guy, obviously super athletic, and then he goes off to college.
Well, I mean, for me, before we sort of dip back there, just the biggest thing for me is, like you say, in a time where quarterbacks weren't protected, 4 Super Bowls, 4 Super Bowl wins, 3 MVPs, 2 league MVPs. But the big one for me, no interceptions in any of the 4 Super Bowls he played with. You talked about Purdy being able to process and diagnose defensive. Montana was just the epitome of that almost dunk little 5-yard slant where Rice would then turn it into a 95-yard touchdown. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so like you say, born in Pennsylvania, football, basketball, and baseball, then went to Ringgold High School in Pennsylvania. But again, like with Purdy, people doubted that NFL career, didn't they? He wasn't the biggest, didn't have the strongest arm, and very similar to Purdy in that regard. And, a lot of people have likened Purdy to that Montana kind of build. He hasn't got necessarily the physical attributes, but has got the smarts. And therefore, that's why he's so successful.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's all about with Montana, it was the timing, the feel of the game as well. And then obviously we know about in the Super Bowls how calm he was. And then 1974, he goes off to Notre Dame.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, that wasn't a case of just getting handed the job there. He had to work his way up. He was injured, depth chart battles like you've written here, some great research you've done here, mate. But when he got his chances, he just showed that he'd got that capability of being able to lead a comeback. Like you say, 1977, won the national championship with Notre Dame. And the Niners knew what they were getting from those late game heroics because he proved it at college. But go on, Neil, because I know this is a great story, but I want you to tell it. There was that famous chicken soup game. What was that all about?
Soup game, yeah. I mean, I remember reading about this in the past, but I went back and watched all of there's NFL films, done a little documentary on it. It's a crazy game, but in the Cotton Bowl in 79, it was freezing cold. They were playing in Dallas. Montana had flu and he was in a locker room. Like the daughter of like the team doctor had packed him like some chicken noodle soup, and they couldn't get him warm. Like he was too cold. They give him the chicken noodle soup, and then he comes back. Notre Dame, they started off well. They're 12-0 up, and then Houston took over, scoring 34 straight points. So they led in the second half, 34-12. Montana's not coming out. He's feeling rough. He's got the flu. He's not loving it at all. And then he comes back out. Notre Dame scored 23 points in the fourth quarter. He drags them back. But it's the final play. And any Niner fans, go back out there and watch it. It is like watching him in a Niners jersey. It's the exact same play. It's amazing.
It really was.
He just found a way to win. And there you go. And it was like, it was just like the first kind of like, the proper NFL version of Joe Montana playing at college. It was just go watch it. Just go watch it, everyone. It's an amazing story. And yeah, kind of blew my mind that I didn't know more about it. And I'm glad to have gone back and found out about it.
Absolutely, yeah. It was. I remember, like you, I obviously wasn't around about in the 70s, consciously being able to watch football. I was only born in 75, but that game, I saw that on NFL Films. It was a truly, you could have made a movie out of that story. That game against Houston, and then on to the pros. Again, he was, he wasn't a high draft pick either, was he? Drafted in 82nd overall, so. Wasn't really touted to be that big arm NFL type quarterback, but 1981 is where it all kicked off.
Yeah, I mean, obviously just the perfect fit for the West Coast offense. We know it all relies on accuracy and timing. And yeah, he wasn't looking for the deep threats all the time. You mentioned earlier on the little, dunk-off passes to Rice that go their way. And then, yeah, 81, the championship game against the Cowboys. And that's where it was. That's when the catch happened. And we spoke about Dwight Clark earlier. But
absolutely,
yeah, that was it. That's when the legend was truly born.
So they win that one at the end of the 81 season at the Pontiac Silverdome. Then, obviously, in Miami in 84, that near perfect season. A lot of people, we mentioned about this, potentially saying that Niners team was possibly one of the best teams of all time. And Jerry Rice didn't even arrive with him till 85. So, from the first 6 years of his NFL career, he got like Freddie Solomon and people and Dwight Clark. But then Jerry Rice comes from this small school in Mississippi Valley State, where he's been learning how to catch footballs by catching bricks from his dad. We'll probably talk about that when we talk about Jerry. And then it just took off again, 88, 89, back-to-back Super Bowls. And then that battle between Montana and Young, that sort of quarterback controversy, which I personally think made the Niners much, much better than they might have been when Montana was ailing.
Yeah, I mean, just forcing each other, like, this is a great story. But then his injuries started backing up, right? He's like, he had his elbow. He missed most of 91 and 92. And then by the time he gets back, that's the hardest thing, right? If you get injured, you're going to lose your spot, and he loses it to Steve Young, another amazing quarterback. So, Montana's still Montana, but, Young is younger and already playing at that MVP level. So he makes that big move to Kansas City.
And I can still remember that day. Now I remember being devastated. And at the time, Kansas City weren't a team that were like a rival team or anything. So it wasn't the fact that he'd gone to Kansas City, but it was just the fact that Montana was no longer a 49er. And like I say, 1993, I was 17 in 1993, 18. And even as a 17, 18-year-old, as daft as it sounds, that's how much we love the Niners. It really did cut deep. The fact that at the time I didn't understand that it wasn't Montana didn't want to go. Kind of his hand was forced. But even so, that was just it was a real, you would have loved Joe to play out his final days as a Niner.
Agreed. But I think one of the things is it really cements his legacy that he gets to go to another team and show that he's not just part of the West Coast offense. He's just part of Bill Walsh. Like, he went out there and played well in a different system and did well.
Yeah.
So, I think it just adds more to him.
And then he retired in 1995, so into the NFL in 1979. A 16-year career, and the accolades. Won the national. We just a 4-time Super Bowl champ. He was on the 100th anniversary all-time team for the NFL. 8-time Pro Bowler, 3-time Super Bowl MVP, 273 passing touchdowns, 40,551 yards. 63.2% passing completed, 117 wins to 47 losses. I mean, that's unbelievable. And that NFL Comeback Player of the Year in 1986.
Yep.
And just the 4 Super Bowls, 11 touchdowns and 1,142 yards in 4 Super Bowls. That's just
and you mentioned it earlier,
crazy.
Like 0 picks and a 127.8 Super Bowl passer rating. So, yeah, he was ruthless. I think that's the way to put it. He was a winner. He would do anything he could. He was just the ultimate competitor, and honestly, the ultimate Niners legend. And you said it before. This is what got you into the Niners. and that's that's what got me into the Niners. So Rice might be the greatest player, maybe, that could be argued, but he's the ultimate legend for the Niners, and what a player.
I've got to put a little caveat on that. Rice might be the greatest player, but would he be the greatest player without Montana, without Steve Young? I'm not
That's
sure.
What it always says, right? That's what receivers always get, right? But
absolutely,
yeah. But I mean,
absolutely.
But what a way to start this, and I think we plan to do a few more of these legend profiles in the 80th season, and what a way to start! What a player, and what a privilege to have him on our team.
100%, 100%. Just sent goosebumps down me. I love it, Neil. Love it. Right, the third quarter's done and dusted. Let's move on to the fourth.
Fourth quarter.
All right, then. So we've looked back. Now we're going to look to the future. And the future on this week's segment is all about our first positional group breakdown of the year. And we're going to have a look at the 49ers wide receivers. We talked a lot about the draft picks and the trades. So we're gonna break this down. Overall, Neil, happy with this room for 2026?
Yes, I think it's an upgrade. I think we got better. It does feel like a huge reset, though. I mean, it was only a few years ago we're talking about Debo, Ayuk, Jennings, just downfield attitude, players you love on your team, you want to play them. And this one feels like just completely different. It feels just way more talented in a more traditional sense, if you know what I mean. But it does feel like it's pretty unproven. Obviously, we spoke about Stribling and then how old Evans is. We'll get into that. But I think it's a high upside. I think the ceiling is huge on this one. Yeah, really excited.
Yeah, I agree. And I think one of the biggest things is, like we mentioned, Kyle has a sort of prototype receiver that he looks for, that little slot receiver almost, or people who can run after the catch, And now with Mike Evans particularly, he's got a tool that he's never had before. He's got a big body, like you say, big body receiver where you can almost just put the ball up in his vicinity and he's going to out muscle even the taller DBs in the league. I read an article actually just this week about where Brock Purdy had a conversation with Mike Evans. Yeah. Did you see this about something about, well, why weren't you in that position? And he said, well, me and Tom Brady had got this. We've worked on this. And he knew exactly where I was going to be in relation to the demon. And Brock kind of went, oh, right. I've got some work to do here to get to that same sort of level, which is great because they mentioned about Mike Evans seeing the field like a quarterback.
Exactly. Yeah. And you can just see now already that they're working on it already. And yeah, bringing that kind of veteran presence to the outside. And I think in red zones, now you got to worry about, CMC, you got to worry about, but now it's going to bring safeties over to that side of the field. I think it's going to be huge for us. You got Ricky Pearsall. I love Ricky Pearsall. I think he's great. I really like his route running. You got Stribling coming in, and even like Cowing as well, right? I mean, they got some pure speed out there. So the room is there. It's just whether they really go for it. But Mike Evans, obviously the big addition to this team.
Yeah, let's touch on it. The one caveat, the one concern, I suppose, he missed 9 games last year with the Bucs. He's obviously coming off, he's aging, he's 33. Yes, he's big-bodied, but there's that body is wearing down. Was it the first year last year that he didn't have a 1,000-yard receiving season for goodness knows how many years? Which again, but it is that idea that the upside is huge. The downside is if he's going to be missing 9 games, then those young guys have got to step up.
It's going to be tough, but some veteran leadership in there never hurts. And and let's face it, like you said earlier, not every throw now has to be pinpoint perfect to roll that in. So he's going to up and get it. But then Pearsall, we mentioned him earlier. I think he's the key to this team. The route running, his hands. I remember him coming out of college. His separation skills were off the charts, which is why Kyle Shanahan wanted him. We saw him play well. Against Detroit, he was so good. I think he's one of my son's favorite players. So I like him. And then obviously I did Christian Kirk as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think realistically at that stage, that's your 1, 2, 3, isn't it? You've got a true number 1 receiver in Mike Evans. You've got Ricky Pearsall, who will probably end up in the slot again, you would have thought. Well, it might split time with Christian Kirk. But again, like you've written here, Kirk's not flashy, but he's really effective. He will play in the slot as well. He can play outside, but he's more likely to be in the slot. And like you said, he's dealt with a number of injuries over the past few years. So it's just whether or not he can come back and be that effective receiver that he was pre-injury.
Yeah, and it's just that thing, right? Is he going to get back to his peak levels, or is he just a bridge player? But still, it's still an upgrade. And then we got the rookie, Deshaun Stribling. Again, every time I hear about this guy, you just hear more and more good stuff.
You
Cannot wait to see where his ceiling is.
No, I agree. How quickly is Kyle going to want to get him into the offense? Like you mentioned, it may well be special teams to begin with, just proving his worth. Because obviously he's got Demarcus Robinson, and Demarcus Robinson will always now just stay in my mind as the guy who stepped up in that Philadelphia game when the receiving core was low. Demarcus Robinson had a great game in that playoff against the Eagles at the end of last season. So Robinson, he came over last year from the Rams, obviously had issues off the field for the first few weeks of the season, but then as he began learning, he became productive. And I do kind of think you've got Jacob Cowan on this list, and is Cowan, well, first off, it depends how many receivers we're going to carry, doesn't it? And I know you've kind of gone, we're thinking Mike Evans, Ricky Pearsall, Christian Kirk, Stribling, Robinson, and Cowan. So 6 receivers that the Niners are going to carry. Out of those guys, therefore, who do you think is going to line up kick return initially? Do you think it will be the likes of Cowan and Stribling?
I think so. I think Cowan, he's so fast. But his roster is going to be, can he develop into the part of the passing game? Because Jordan Watkins is now looks like he might be the outside looking in. So we'll see. But I think the biggest thing with this group is they're just significantly bigger. They're just a bigger red zone team. And when you're going up against teams like the Rams and Seahawks with their defenses, you can't throw away those opportunities. You got to turn field goals into touchdowns.
Yeah.
And I think this team gives them more opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I do. I think, like you say, Kyle's got a different set of toys to play with this year, really. And whereas before the Yak brothers, it was important get the ball in your playmakers' hands and let them make all the moves. Yeah. It does feel like on this particular set of receivers, you are going to be looking to try and push the ball down the field a little more often. Now, it may well be that your whole offensive philosophy doesn't completely change to a deep passing system, but it gives you that extra string to your bow, if you like, to then keep the underneath open for the likes of CMC, Kittle, and the Christian Kirk coming across the middle.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we wanted to give this a grade, I'd give them a B- right now, only because it's unproven. But this could go either way. With a couple of injuries, Evans, he could drop down. But I think the ceiling on this is an A group. They're just fundamentally unproven team right now. I mean, this little group, especially with Stribling in there. But I think this could take some carries off CMC as well. And maybe I'm not even included CMC in this as a receiver, but he's a huge part of the passing game as well.
Yeah, really
I just think that Evans lining up on the outside is going to drag some safety help over to him and open up Pearsall underneath. And with his route running, I think we could see something, especially with how accurate Purdy can be.
No, I agree. I do. And I can't remember quite this much hype over a 49ers rookie receiver this early on. Obviously, there was the questions reached to start with, but since he's been in the organization and out in Santa Clara, it does just seem to be the hype train seems to be, well, actually, we might have struck gold here, and other teams were a fan of him, but just didn't want to, whatever reason. So, and I suppose, like you say, you then want to compare not only this wide receiver room to others around the league, and I've seen sort of rankings of the best receiver rooms, and we're not even in the top 10 in some people's best receiver ranking, which is fine. But then if you think about other receiver rooms down the 49ers, and you've done another great bit of research down this, when I'm thinking about 6 receivers like we've just listed, and the fact that pretty much all 6 of them will be able to contribute in some form, I can't remember a 49ers receiver room being this deep with this much potential across 4 or 5 receiver slots.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably speaks to the offenses, right? We definitely line up with more receivers nowadays, but back in the day, it's always the tandems, right? Rice and Taylor, whoever it may be, even going back to Anquan Bolden and Michael Crabtree and players like that, they've always just been, when Terrell Owens came in, it was Owens and Rice. It's always been the tandems, but now it's always tends to be the 3. So we went from Ayuk, Debo into Jennings.
Yeah.
But now we're looking at Evans, Pearsall, Kirk, Stribling. We seem to be going one level deeper. So I think this could be a really good team. I think it's probably right. I think the NFL's like put us at 11, 12, whatever it may be, but we could easily get into the move up there as well. So
I love your bottom line. If Pearsall pops, Evans defies Father Time, and Stribling contributes early, this room can easily climb into the top 5. Otherwise, it'll be a transitional reset year. And I think that hits the nail on the head. Absolutely hits the nail on the head. But nevertheless, at this time of year, end of May, it's exciting.
It is. It is. Good stuff to look forward to.
Absolutely. Right. Good work, my man. Right. Just a little bit of time for
overtime.
Right. Nick Bosa.
Yeah.
Go on.
What do you want to talk about? Well, I think he's coming into his huge year, his contract year. There's lots of like rumblings going around. Who knows? Yeah. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I just think that it's something to look at. I mean, obviously a quiet part of the offseason, but Nick Bosa, I think it's going to be interesting. But I think the bigger news for us as a thing is Stafford's contract extension.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's huge.
Like you said, that keeps the Rams in a win now mode. That's kind of, it really raises the stakes for the opener in Melbourne against the 49ers against the Rams. And it makes it nasty from day one. Yeah, absolutely. It does.
Yeah, I mean, that team, Stafford, Puka, Devontae, they've added McDuffie, Verse. I mean, they're in win now mode. They realize that they're, with Stafford aging out, right? They're in their window now to win a Super Bowl. We've already had him winning 13 games.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it just brings into highlight, like we said, I think it rounds out this podcast nicely. It just rounds out how important that game one of the season is.
Yeah, I agree.
It's going to set the tone for the whole NFC.
Just very quickly, I've not heard anything on the Puka situation lately. Has that gone anywhere? Is that clear now? Is Puka back?
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, let's assume he is for now, right?
Yeah.
But but it's a huge extension for Stafford. I mean, what's that? $55 million extension.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 more years.
2 more years.
That's massive. That's a lot of money.
Ty Simpson's got to be peeved.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know. Yeah,
but again, it's a great situation for Simpson, though, isn't it? He can learn behind Stafford, and as daft as it sounds, it's a better situation for a rookie quarterback going into that than it is for somebody who gets thrust into a Jets situation, a Raiders situation right from week one, where it is really, really tough for them.
Yeah, and that's going to be, again, looking forward. That's not good for us. No, they've had a bit of foresight, pick up a quarterback, even sit him for 1-2 years on the roster.
Yeah,
but I think the biggest thing here is just week one just got bigger. It really did. I think I just cannot wait. It's not long.
I totally agree. And like you say, what a great way to wrap things up. We finish as we started talking about week one, Melbourne, Australia, the Rams, Niners, which will open the 2026 season. We've got loads more to talk about though between now and then. OTA is just around the corner, then training camp before you know it, we're in preseason. And then the season gets underway in September. But anyway, done and dusted. Another great show, Neil.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Love talking about this team.
We'll be back same time, same place next week. You guys have a good week. Thanks for joining us. And we'll see you again in a week. Bye-bye.
Bye.